Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this review of King and Queen of the Ring. We've got so much to go through. We need to get into it. We're going to start with the kickoff show, and this was a big moment. This was the moment that I felt that Liv was going to win the match. So for me, if you joined us for the watch along, I was 50-50. I mean, I really did not know which way to go. On my official pick, I went with Becky a few days ago, but I was like 51-49. I mean, I just didn't know. And then this happened, and this was a big moment. So Dominic arrived on the kickoff show, the countdown show, to tell Liv that he was here. He had flown all the way here to make sure that she didn't win the title. And as soon as you saw Dominic, you knew that Liv was going to win the title, because he was either going to try and stop her and he was going to botch it, right? Or he was going to help her and it was going to be a big shock. And obviously we got one of those, right? It did go that way. And obviously when we get to the match, we'll talk about which way it went. As well, on the countdown show, there was a glitch. There was a few audio glitches, actually, and we experienced some audio glitches on SmackDown. There was one that happened during Randy's music. So the music was playing, and there was a moment in his music where the pitch of the vocal dipped down and then came back again. It was a very strange glitch, that one. And that really did prompt a few theories. Was Howdy going to target Randy Orton? And thoughts along those lines, right? I didn't really subscribe to those. I was actually under the impression that the group would not arrive at this show. I wasn't 100% on that, but I was getting more confident as we got closer to the show. I just felt that on the Twitch stream that we had on Thursday, if the group were coming, then we would have had some very clear indicators that they were on the way, and we didn't with the SmackDown QR code either. Didn't get those clear indicators like I expect when it is time for them to arrive. So I wasn't expecting them, but we were getting these glitches, and we got one when Michael Cole spoke. There was like a bit of an audio kind of dip out, and it was just a bit weird. And I think it was around that same time on the WWE WhatsApp, there was a graphic that was really all messed up as well. And then that got deleted, right? So there were some very strange things going on around the countdown show. And that obviously fueled a lot of talk around Uncle Howdy potentially and this group potentially arriving, right? They didn't. But this is the key talking points from the kickoff show. The other key talking point, of course, was the fact that we got a match. And the match was Jade and Bianca taking on Indi and Candice. Women's tag title on the line. And I've got to tell you, the crowds were great. Obviously, the women, when they're in Saudi Arabia, they have to be covered. So it does mean that we kind of see them in different attire. And I've got to tell you, I love seeing them in different attire. Like, I love seeing them, like, really mixing it up and being made to mix it up. I'm so used to seeing, like, a lot of the female wrestlers wearing next to nothing, right? That actually them being covered up and having to wear something that was completely different. I thought it was a nice change, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, ideally, the wrestlers should be able to wear whatever they want. But, you know, that's just not going to fly in Saudi Arabia. But it was nice to have a bit of a change, you know, and a bit of a refresh. So here you can see Indi and Candice kind of all in black with a little bit of white in there. Jade and Bianca wearing all pink. And they look great. They really did. They look great. Match was very entertaining. Honestly, solid, really solid. I was really ready for the show when we got to it. It was a win for Jade and Bianca, and the community scored this good 95. So it didn't get to that great rating, right? It couldn't get into that next bracket above, but it's still a very high, good rating. Some nice moments where Indy was mocking Bianca. She was like swinging her own hair around and kind of dancing around. That was fun. And it was also pointed out in the chat that there was no Prime logo, right? I don't know why. I'm sure it's been reported somewhere, but I've not seen why. There was no Prime logo. There was no Prime hydration station either at ringside. So hopefully that sponsorship deal is fallen through and we don't have to see the Prime bottle in the ring anymore. That would be nice, but it's probably something more to do with Saudi Arabia, to be honest. And I don't know, them not allowing advertising or something. I don't know. So yeah, either way, we didn't get the Prime bottle, but unfortunately I do expect it back for Clash at the Castle. So a win for our tag champs, Bianca and Jade. Lots of fun. They looked really great. And yeah, good 95 rating. There we go. That's a better shot of what they were wearing. Gotta say, the crowds were really, really good. Crowd were really good, really vocal, loads of noise, loads of chanting. It was good. There was a great energy to this. First match, Becky versus Liv. Obviously for the Women's World Championship, champion was Becky. She made her way down to the ring. And I gotta tell you, this match was good. I mean, it was good. Becky was fighting in this, like, suit. She came, I don't know if you can see here, she came down to the ring wearing this, right? She came down wearing this outfit, and I really thought that this was just for her intro, right? I really thought that was just for her intro. The bell rang, and other than taking the hat off, that is what she wrestled in. It was quite strange. I wasn't used to it. It was catching me off guard, but I got used to it after a while. But it was really weird. It did feel like Liv had upset a waiter and they were battling away. Liv channeled her inner Britney Spears again. We have seen this outfit before. So she was in that kind of red suit, whereas Becky decided to go for this like suit attire. This is what I mean about how mixing up the ring gear and, like, I suppose being forced to try something different, something you wouldn't normally do, kind of brought out a bit of creativity. And yeah, it was fun. It's good. So here, who walks out as champion? 3,000 people voted, and Liv just edged it right in this poll. And these people were correct, because what would happen is that Dominic would come down to ringside when Becky was in a good position, it has to be said. I think she had the disarmer in. Liv was like screaming out in pain. Dominic didn't have to do anything, right? But he distracted. That meant that Becky broke the holds, and the match then continued, right? Because she was distracted and she was telling Dom, get out of here. Dom would grab a chair, slide it into the ring. He wouldn't really throw it to anyone. It was one of those kind of classics that the chair goes in the middle. So you don't know if he threw it to Liv or if he threw it to Becky. He's going to claim it was to Becky. But he threw it in the ring, and basically Liv would hit the flatliner. She would hit that on the chair, pick up the victory, and become the new champion. And Dominic, you know, there was no celebrating from him, but I think most people are expecting it to be revealed or to turn out that actually these two are together. And, you know, he's moved on from Mommy, and he actually came out to help Liv, but they're just making it look... They're just making it look like he isn't. They're just making it look like he's out there to try and get this belt away from her, but he's actually helping her. So this was Becky having a word with Dominic. Did that just happen? Liv beats Becky. She is the new Women's World Champion. This is a big, big moment for Liv. I mean, it's not clean, obviously, because of the outside interference, but it is still another championship to her name. It's still a big moment. It's a big victory, and this just feels like the start of something. We would see Becky later, and she would be livid, demanding a rematch. She said she had it in the contract. She wanted it for Monday. So I don't know if it was confirmed, but we are expecting her to get a match on Monday, the rematch on Raw. I don't expect her to get her belt back, though, right? So great 55% rating on that one. And there we go. And new. Liv takes down Becky to become the new women's champion. There's Liv. Minds blown WWE. And look at that face. Mommy's not going to be happy. Look at that face. I don't know about Mommy. What about the man in the background? The Big time's not going to be happy either. So Dominic successfully upsetting quite a few people, to be honest. The fans as well. No, look, Mid Morgan was trending at one point, right? It's so interesting. I think there probably are people in the middle with Liv, but there's not many wrestlers that seem to have such fierce either support or such fierce opposition. Like, I feel like most people really have an opinion on Liv. Like, she feels a bit like you either love her or you hate her. It's one or the other with Liv, isn't it? It's one or the other. So that was our opening match, right? Then we got to this second match. This was for the Intercontinental Championship. So this was Sami versus Chad versus Big Bronson Reed. This actually got the highest rating from the whole night from the community. This got a 68% great rating, right? So Chad came out and he brought out Otis. He brought out Maxine wearing this all gold bodysuit, right? And he said to Otis, he was like, come with me, like, you're gonna stick to the plan, yeah? And he told Maxine, just go to the back, you're useless. So she ended up going to the back, and Chad and Otis made their way down to the ring. Sami came out and got a great reaction. It is worth mentioning that at this point, we are getting the QR code around this time. So, Sami came out. Big Bronson Reed came out. They did another poll. People said Sami would win 67.8%. Look at this. Damian Priest said, what? From bad to worse? Shake my head. That's interesting reaction from Damian Priest. So we got underway with this. We had lots of big spots, lots of stuff in the corner. I remember, I think it was Sami that suplexed Chad, who suplexed Bronson. So lots of those kinds of spots, lots of action. This got 68%. Great rating, but the bigger talking point, right? The bigger talking point was the Chad Otis stuff. So on the outside of the ring, Chad was getting Otis to lay people out. So Otis dealt with Big Bronson Reed, right? He went down. That then meant that he just needed to deal with Sami. And we know that he apologized to Sami the other day. He said sorry to Sami for costing him, right? Well, if he's really sorry, he wouldn't do it again now, would he? So he had a decision to make. Was he going to clothesline and knock down Sami and really set about him? Or was he just going to walk away? And Chad's obviously screaming at him as well. He goes to knock into Sami, but he just can't do it. And Chad has a go at him, right? Gets him fired up. And so he goes again. This time when he goes to do it, he does go to do it. But Sami moves out the way. Otis ends up clotheslining Chad. Chad goes down, and ultimately Sami would go on to pick up the victory. So this match ends with Sami celebrating. He's retained his championship, and obviously a lot of heat between Chad and Otis. And it was done good. It was a little predictable how this was going to go, I think. I mean, I felt pretty confident that Sami would get this. I felt pretty confident that Otis would turn on Chad. And so it kind of all went the way that it went, but it was fine. I mean, this is the way it should have gone. And as we said, it was very entertaining. This is the spot. It was actually Chad to Bronson to Sami doing this German suplex thing. This was the bit on the outside. This is where Otis goes to clothesline Sami. Sami ducks out the way. He ends up hitting Chad, and that ends up costing Chad. And still, Sami Zayn retains the championship. So there he is, celebrating away. We got this women's panel, just a clip of this. Obviously, they're doing lots of work in Jeddah over in Saudi Arabia whilst they're there with the superstars. So here you can see Liv and Chelsea Green. So then it was time for us to move on to Queen of the Ring. I don't have much to say on this other than it was a decent match. I mean, this got a great 52% rating, right? So here is Nia making her way down. Then we got this great entrance from Lyra. She had the wings and everything. I thought Lyra gave a really, really good account of herself here. Like, she was really, really battling away, really, like, digging deep. And I enjoyed this match. I really did. Very close, very hard to predict. I felt good for Lyra winning this. I was pretty confident that she would get the victory. So Nia Jax doing well, obviously, throughout the match. Lyra is not backing down, though. She is doing whatever it takes to become Queen of the Ring, but it was not enough. Nia picked up the victory with one of the most brutal annihilators I have ever seen, right? I mean, I even joked on the live stream, the ghost of Yokozuna would have been grimacing, right? He delivered some brutal bonsai drops, but you're going to have to work hard to find one more brutal than what we saw from Nia. I mean, it felt like a botch. It felt like it had gone wrong, right? And maybe it did. I mean, what happened was Nia was in the corner, and you had Lyra, right? She was trying to do this to do a power bomb, but actually Nia just came off the turnbuckles, came crashing down, and just came straight on top of Lyra. I mean, there was no grabbing of the ropes. There was no protection. It was the full weight of Nia kind of coming down on the lower ribs and on the stomach of Lyra. I mean, that just could not have been fun. I would imagine that Lyra will be asked about that moment for the rest of her life. Like, what was it like in that moment when Nia Jax came crashing down on you? It was, I can't even, you saw it. It was brutal. I've only just got my own breath back, right? Once they scraped Lyra up off the mat, they obviously then presented Nia with the crown. And it was done so well. It was done so well. I love Triple H being in the ring. There was no throne, right, or anything like that. Do you remember the other year, Zelina had to go up the ramp and kind of like coronate herself? She put the thing on herself. She put the crown on herself. She grabbed the scepter and then she posed. It was all a bit awkward. Here, Triple H got in the ring with the crown, treating it like it's the biggest prize in the world. You know, Nia got down onto one knee. He like put the crown on, and do you know what I mean? Like, it felt like a big deal, him being in the ring. I mean, we all know the role that Triple H plays in this company. He is the one that chose these as the winners. And so him being the one to then give them the crown. There was a lovely moment between them, actually. I mean, it really came across like they're good friends. I mean, there was like a real embrace and a few words being exchanged. It felt quite nice, actually, for Nia. I think Nia's run's been really good. I think it's been really good since she's come back. I really enjoyed the Bianca match. I enjoyed this match. I think that, I don't know what it is. The psychology of the matches just seems, she's throwing her weight around, but the girls seem to be handling it better. We're not seeing like any massive botches, although that ending was scary, to be honest with you. And we're not seeing like all these injuries and everything we were seeing before. I think if that starts again, then obviously the narrative could start to change, but so far so good. And so yeah, this was quite the victory for her. So yeah, there we go. And SummerSlam is calling for Nia. She will now go to SummerSlam to compete for the women's championship, of course. Livid Becky Lynch backstage. This is where she demanded that she got her rematch, and she wants it on Monday. Then we went to our next match. So this was Randy Orton against Gunther. This got a great 67%. I think for my money, this is the best match on the show, but great 67% means it just fell 1% below the Intercontinental Championship match. But for my money, this was the best match on the show. So Gunther making his way down to the ring. Of course, a massive pop, huge pop for Randy Orton. Crowd going bananas during this. Just going absolutely bananas. The crowd really, everything just got turned up here. I mean, Randy is such a big star. You know, massive RKO chants and everything. And there he is looking at the crown. So who becomes king of the ring? People here look going 58% Orton, 41% Gunther. I felt pretty good for Gunther on this one. Felt pretty good for Gunther. I really thought the bloodline were going to cost Randy, and so that's why I felt good for Gunther. So I got the winner right, but the reason wrong. There was no bloodline. There was no bloodline. Instead, this was a bit strange. Banging match. Really enjoyable. Hard-hitting. Brutal chops, right? Banging match. I mean, look at the grimace faces. I mean, it was just brutal. There was bruising on Randy's body. He was selling his heart out throughout this whole thing. But the end is strange because we get an RKO. And I don't mind Gunther kicking out of the RKO, but the way he kicks out is that he gets his shoulder up and he actually rolls Randy over into a bit of a crucifix pin. He kind of rolls him up, gets the 3, but it's very clear that Randy got his shoulder up. Now, I don't know that it's a botch. I think it was probably a plan to do the rematch. Triple H actually spoke after to say that there will be a rematch. He's seen the replay. He saw the shoulder is up. Everyone was talking about it. Shoulder was well up as well. And so it looks like it's going to be a rematch. But ref's decision is final. Gunther is the King of the Ring winner. But I just think that finish took away. I mean, there was people in the chat saying, I don't like Gunther kicking out of the RKO, right? And I certainly don't like him going straight into a pin. And then I certainly don't like him winning with that pin when it's quite clear that Randy's shoulder was up. So you've got this really banging match and then this finish that just really lets it down. I like him kicking out of the RKO. I think that only a few people should be able to do it. And he shouldn't be able to do it like twice. He shouldn't be able to kick out of the RKO like 2 times, 3 times. But I think that it's very rare you see people kick out of the RKO. That really puts people away. So the fact that Gunther got hit with it and it didn't put him away, I'm all right with that. Gunther's special. I'm all right with that. But yeah, what followed, I can understand people are being a little bit off with it. So Nia Jax wins, and here's Bayley saying, "See you around, idiot." Triple H said, "An irresistible force has taken the throne. Congratulations to your new queen of the ring." This is awesome chants throughout this match. There was Orton planting Gunther into the commentary table, but as we said, it was Gunther that picked up the victory, and he wouldn't wear the crown. He didn't put it on his head. He just like held it and held it. And I got asked in the chat, why do we think this happened? Why didn't he put it on? And I don't really have an answer. The only thing I can say is that when Triple H won, he never wanted to wear the crown. He would actually destroy it every chance he could because he hated wearing it. In all fairness, back then, back in the 90s, the crowns were cringe. I mean, they were really OTT and embarrassing. That is classy, right? That is nice. It is like a prize, really. It feels like something you could kind of hold up as a bit of a trophy. Back then, I mean, they were like awful. I mean, they had a giant like WWF logo and like, you know, they were just awful. OTT and like really ugly. And so he used to destroy it, so he never had to wear it. And I just wonder if Gunther just looked at this situation and thought, you know what, I don't really want pictures of me wearing a crown. Don't really want pictures of me wearing a crown out there. I'd much rather just treat this as a trophy. And I think that's cool, to be honest. I think that's pretty cool. Treating it more as a trophy than as, you know, something you want to wear. I like Gunther winning, though. I mean, this means that he now gets a title match, a world title match at SummerSlam. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so excited for that. I know people are down on the fact that it wasn't Randy winning. But listen, Randy will be fine. He's going to get a massive match at SummerSlam, I'm sure. Triple H said 3 weeks from today, live in Glasgow. What did he say? Glasgow or something like that. Glasgow. I said on the live stream, once we figure out where Glasgow is, then I'll see you there. So live from Glasgow in Scotland. Drew McIntyre gets his opportunity to challenge Damien at Clash at the Castle. So Triple H making that announcement. This match, it has been made for Scotland. No surprise. I think we was expecting it. Damian Priest said, let's go. He's happy, right? And then it was time for our main event, right? Time for our main event. Oh, it's worth just saying that when Gunther won, right, and he was celebrating, the crowd were chanting, you deserve it. And he was like, thank you. I appreciate that. But it's not up to you what I deserve. Like, he's so good. He's so good. There are people in that moment that would be really touched by the crowd, not Gunther. Gunther's like, thank you, I deserve it. Yeah, that's right. But it's not up to you to tell me what I deserve. And bang, straight back to being a heel. Ah, man, he so gets it. He doesn't get it. He is it. He's special. Gunther's special. So here's Logan. So Logan made his way down. He was wearing Saudi colours, white and green. Cody Rhodes' usual attire. Massive whoa. I mean, look at this. The fact that 9% thought that Logan stood a chance. I mean, I can only imagine that's the Low gang, right? A difficult match to fall in love with, to be honest. I mean, it did get a good score. It got a great 59%. So, you know, it delivered. But yeah, where do you start with this? Cody was winning. He was always winning. Logan was not losing this. So it lacked that edge for me. They were going all over the place, though, fighting all over the place. They were putting the work in, right? Obviously he gets the brass knucks. We knew he was going to get the brass knucks. There's a bit here where Cody comes running, jumps off the steps, and this is where Cody gets smacked in the midsection with the brass knucks. I just don't get this. You know, you've got Michael Cole going, you promised you wouldn't use them. It's like, he's a heel. He's a heel. Are you surprised? I don't understand. Why is Michael Cole so shocked that Logan has used brass knucks? Like, he's a heel. Like, I don't know. I didn't get that part. I mean, Michael Cole was really selling the fact that, like, I can't believe you've lied to us. I can't believe that you've betrayed us. It was a bit strange. Then Cody gets put onto the commentary table. Frog splash by Logan. And it's a great shot, actually. I'm surprised they don't have the footage here. Oh, it's this. Here we go. I was going to say, quite surprised. It's been viewed 500,000 times. Great camera work of the camera kind of. I wonder if we can just do that and do that and then do that. So here, look. So he goes up and the camera sort of pans around as he goes to do it. So again, he poses so that this, I'm guessing it's a drone or something. I don't know. Keeps going round. He spits it out. And then, boom, big frog splash. It's done really well. I mean, it's pitch perfect, actually. You wouldn't want to land anywhere else, would you? I mean, boom. What I will say about Logan is he's obviously got great cardio. He's very athletic. He's got a decent moveset on him that's grown. This is one that we've seen many, many times from him. I think what made this one stand out is the production. What made this one stand out is this kind of camera angle there. I mean, amazing. Amazing. So he hits that. There's low blows. There's a comedian, this guy, this famous Saudi Arabian sort of entertainer. He was doing the intros, right? He actually grabs and stops Logan from putting Cody away. And that moment just allowed Cody to say, I'm Cody Rhodes. B word, right? Swore. Very disappointing. And then hit like a load of crossroads. And put him away, basically. There was another moment as well where he teased Cody using the vertebraker, which is where you like turn your opponent upside down and have them behind your back. And then when you drop down, you're dropping them on their head, on their neck. It was a banned move. I mean, it is not a move that we see in WWE. it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. I mean, anything involved in the neck and everything, it's dangerous. And certainly having them upside down behind your back, you can't even see them. So I was surprised that he teased going for that. But then he doesn't actually hit it, right? And we were talking on the live stream, why has he gone for that? Like, we was trying to think, has he ever done that before? And then later in the match, he actually goes for it again and hits it, which I thought was a big surprise. I mean, that was quite at the moment, right? So that was something that really stood out to me. But loads of crossroads, and that's it. You know, end of the match. And still, Cody Rhodes gets the job done and remains undisputed champion. No surprise there. That's the guy that helped, you know, after all the cheating, the low blows, the brass knucks. This is the guy that just momentarily prevented Logan from putting Cody away. So a little bit of a thanks afterwards. And there we go. What a night at King and Queen of the Ring. So we've got a new women's champion. Gunther got crowned. Dominic messed up, but did he mess up? Obviously, Nia got crowned as well. Sami retains. Otis and Chad is a big talking point. Cody overcomes Logan, even though Logan was trying to cheat. But they still put on a really good contest. And that was it. That was the clip there backstage from Revenge Tour to Championship reign. Liv Morgan was right when she said, watch her. I think there's a bit more to do. I've got a feeling the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is just getting started. Adding to the controversy, this is the moment he talks about, let's run Gunther Randy back. I don't think it'll be for the actual King of the Ring crown, but he said that he'd seen it and, you know, ref's decision is final. But if I know Gunther, if I know Randy, they'll want to run it back and I want to see it again. So they're going to do the match again. But as I said, Gunther is King of the Ring, right? Liv Morgan, it's just all Liv Morgan because obviously it was a big thing for her. And that's it. That's everything on the WWE Twitter account. So, yeah, big. I think this is definitely a good show, a solid show. I think that it's I think it's a B show. I mean, the main event was super predictable. We do get a title change, right? We do get a title change. We do get the crowning of the King and the Queen. The Sami match was, you know, was what it was. It was fine. I mean, it was an enjoyable match, but it was what it was. Champion retained, and that was really more about Chad and Otis than anything else. I think for a show that didn't have CM Punk, Rock, Roman, you know, there were some big hitters missing there. No Drew either, to be honest. No Drew, no Bailey, obviously no Charlotte. She's out at the moment. Like, there's a few decent names that were not on this cards. It felt like a B show, but it felt like a well-executed B show. Maybe missing those big OMG moments. I'm not sure this is a show that I'll be going back to, but it gets a solid 7.5 out of 10 for me. Really solid. I mean, I think, like, I like to have a big OMG moment to get into the 8s, and you could maybe say Liv winning was that. But I think once we knew on the kickoff show that Dominic was there and he was going to do everything he could to stop Liv, that just said to me that they're putting the belt on her. So that actually probably took a little bit away from the surprise and the shock of that moment. But yeah, it was what it was. 7.5. I really enjoyed the show all the same. And on we go. We don't have to wait too long till we get to Clash at the Castle. It's really not that far away. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, we've got Nightbird and the QR codes and everything, and that's building nicely. It's going to need a new challenger for Cody, unless he's going to sit Clash at the Castle out, but I don't think he will. So it's going to be interesting to find out who is next for Cody, of course. And of course, coming up next, we're going to the UK, aren't we? It's not far away. We're going to Scotland. We're going to the UK. And it's going to be a real good time. I'm looking forward to the builds on that. And it's going to have to all come together quite quick, which means that Raw is going to be an unmissable show. So that's it. thanks a lot for joining us. Appreciate the support as always. Hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to let me know in the comments. But you can go over to my Twitter account. Might as well jump over there now. Wrestling Daze YT. Yeah. If you go over there, we are almost sneaking our way to 7,000. So if you're not a follower, yeah, drop a follow. We'll see if we can give that a tickle. I don't know what that was, right? Felt inappropriate. But we got a new Nightbird video. I do post videos, like full videos on this thing as well. But this is what you're looking for. This is my second channel. I use that for the live streams, right? Long story. I use this for the live streams. So this is my second account. You don't follow that one. You don't need to follow that one. This is the only one you need to follow. But yeah, this is where you can leave feedback for your thoughts on King and Queen of the Ring. So if you've always wondered, how do I get in the opinions video? This is how you get in. You leave a comment on here. Has anyone left one yet? Boom. There we go. So people are leaving 6 so far. So people are leaving comments. So I will do the opinions video probably tomorrow now. But yeah, that's where you need to go to leave your thoughts. And then you may, more than likely, feature in the opinions video that we'll put up tomorrow on this channel, right? So there we go. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support as always. I hope you enjoyed King and Queen of the Ring. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.